Welcome to the Ask Jordan podcast, answering your questions about selling on Amazon. Now, the award-winning Amazon merchant and best-selling author from Long Island, New York, here's your host, Jordan Malik.
Hey there, Amazon sellers. My name is Jordan Malik. This is the Ask Jordan podcast, our 39th episode. Thank you so much for making me part of your day. Been receiving your comments, receiving your emails. So happy you like the forum and the format, and we try to help you the best we can. This is the podcast, if you're joining us for the first time, welcome, where we only answer your questions about selling on Amazon. Every episode, we answer a question from you, the listener. And if you missed an episode, please go to askjordan.net, where we've got the previous episodes, also the links to the iTunes page, and also the video podcasts are available in video format too on YouTube. All the links are right there, askjordan.net. And if you want to hear your voice on an episode and get 7 of my best-selling ebooks 100% free, I'll tell you exactly how to do that after we answer today's question. Today's question is about accounting. Yes, that dreaded subject, and it is from Alex. Go ahead, Alex.
Hi, Jordan. My name's Alex. Love the podcast. My question has to do with accounting. I'm wondering, what are the best resources you recommend for accounting? What online services do you use? And what tips and tricks do you have for managing accounting for Amazon FBA? Thanks.
Alex, that's a great question. First, a big disclaimer, I'm not an accountant. I don't play one on TV. This is not official CPA or accounting advice. I'm just going to tell you generally what I've done in the past for accounting for my Amazon business. So I didn't really start tracking things or doing a lot of accounting until I hit maybe about $20,000 in sales annually. And when I started hitting $20,000 in sales annually, it became more of a pressing issue, because that's where I thought, in my mind, I want to start expensing things where appropriate, and in keeping track of things, establishing a business, etc. So my suggestion to you is, well, instead of saying my suggestions, saying if I was doing it all over again, I would probably do the same thing. I really wouldn't be bothering too much with accounting until I'm seriously getting into selling. And that means, right around the $15,000 mark. If I'm doing this like $15,000 or more in sales per year, then it's something where I would feel, okay, now it's time for me to start allocating expenses appropriately, seeing what my profit margin is, etc. So when I hit $15,000 or more, more than $15,000 a year projected, I got myself a CPA. Okay, there's other people that are going to tell you to do it yourself or get QuickBooks or whatever. I didn't do any of that. I went to a certified public accountant. I went to, the way that I found her was I went to a friend of mine who has his own business, and she did his accounting as well. Now, the common misconception is, okay, if I'm going to hire a bookkeeper or a CPA, they have to know about e-commerce. That's not really true. I think that's a common misconception. To an accountant, the only thing they really care about is debits and credits, your bank statements, etc. Just because they don't understand fully how fulfillment by Amazon works or whatever, doesn't make them a bad accountant. But as opposed to just hiring a CPA and just throwing documents at her, I had to sit down with her and explain my business to her, okay? And what she did is she said to me, okay, so Jordan, since you've got this business, here's the format I need your documents in. And she would explain to me, I need to know all your expenses. I need to know, and I would sit down with her and I would generate reports on my Amazon seller account and show them to her and say, okay, here's the type of reports I can generate on Amazon. And she'd be like, oh, well, this is good because this shows your seller fees and this shows your, et cetera. And this shows your deposits into your bank account, et cetera. So she got a feel of what I was able to generate. And then she would say to me, okay, so Jordan, I kind of need it in this format. So I'd find myself downloading the spreadsheet, a couple different spreadsheets from Amazon, and showing and reformatting things to her liking in certain columns. Okay, so what I suggest you do, is I suggest you, when you start getting serious about selling online, is I suggest you start separating, ensuring you've got a separate bank account for handling all your transactions. So Amazon will make deposits into your checking account. You should be ensuring that that's a separate checking account, whether it's a business account or a personal account. You want to keep your transactions, your deposits from Amazon in a separate checking account. It doesn't have to be a business checking account. It can be a personal account. You don't want to start mixing your everyday personal transactions that you're doing, buying groceries or gas, with your deposits or your expenditures. If you're buying product using your personal account, you don't want to do that. You really want to start separating things. So you want to have a separate checking account for your Amazon business. It could be a personal account. It could be a business checking account. You want to have whatever you're spending on products and equipment and services and whatever you're receiving in one separate account. So I have a business debit card that I use, for instance, when I go to buy products to resell on Amazon. If you're going to be using a charge card to buy products, it should be a separate charge card that you're using that's dedicated to your business only. I use my business debit card, and that business debit card is tied, it takes money out of my business checking account. And when I receive deposits from Amazon, from the sales that I've made, the deposits that Amazon delivers to me, that is the same checking account, okay? So I've got all my business transactions tied to one separate checking account that's independent of what I spend for personal stuff, okay? So that is what I did. I made a separate checking account, happened to be a business checking account. I established a business based on my accountant's recommendation. She said, you probably want to start removing yourself from the risk of the business by establishing a business. So that business name, an official corporation, has its own business checking account, the same business checking account I just mentioned. So it's best to some people that are starting out freak out about this. They say, I can't afford a CPA, I can't afford a qualified bookkeeper. And it's that old phrase, what is a dollar wise, a penny short, or penny wise, dollar short, or whatever it is. There's so many nuances to accounting that I'm not an accounting-oriented person. I was never good in accounting. I'm going to be doing much of a bigger disaster if I start handling it myself. That's my opinion for myself. So that's why I went to an accountant to say, okay, what do I have to do? And they said, well, Jordan, you want to be a corporation. You want to establish a business as a corporation. You want to have your own business checking account, etc. So if you don't have an account, you want to start talking to your friends who may be business owners, or friends that have friends or family that know of a business owner. Call them up and say, hey, do you have a good accountant? Maybe your insurance agent has a good accountant that they can refer you to. Now, your accountant's not going to be interested, most likely. They're not going to be interested in your profit and loss at the product level, okay? So for your own purposes of documenting how you're doing at the product level, meaning lining up all your revenues and seeing which products are profitable and which aren't, I have two resources for you. And the reason why I bring that up is it's good to know, in addition to the data that you provide to your accountant, it's good to know how your individual products are faring. See, the big missing piece of information when you look at your sales on Amazon and you look at all the spreadsheets and the data that you can download, the big piece of information is your product cost, how much you've paid for each individual product. And that is like if you think about it, that's your entire business, because you don't know how well you're doing in terms of profit margin until you're gauging, what am I spending on product itself? So one thing that has helped me out tremendously that I do recommend is a spreadsheet called the eSales Tracking Spreadsheet. And I have a link of a big description and videos about that. You don't have to buy it. You do have to buy it to use it, but at least check out this page and you get a feel of what I'm talking about. This is a redirect, bit.ly/eSales TS, the word eSales TS. So bit.ly/eSales, plural, and the letters TS. T as in Tom, S as in super, all lowercase. And that is a spreadsheet that I've been using since I've been super serious about selling online to track my sales according to each individual product. I'm able to see the profit margin. And this is a spreadsheet that's been developed by an online seller who sells on eBay, Amazon, and has PayPal transactions. And this she shows you in the tutorial videos how to copy your data from Amazon and paste it into the spreadsheet. It's a little bit of a tedious process, right? But it's a much quicker process than doing this from scratch, just creating your own spreadsheets. The next step that I plan on taking that automates that process in a much easier fashion is a solution from Inventory Lab. Inventory Lab. Now, I haven't used their service yet. The cool thing about Inventory Lab is that you use it to list your products on Amazon, and then it syncs up what you're entering into Amazon, including the product cost to you. It syncs that data up with your Amazon financial statements. So inventorylab.com, there's a free trial. I don't get any money from referring you to them, but many, many other sellers that are actually, they started after I started selling on Amazon. They're much far advanced than I am now. They're using Inventory Lab to keep track of their profit and loss down to the product level. Maybe not something your accountant's going to need. Highly recommended if you're going to be serious about selling on Amazon, because it does, in my opinion, what no other tool does. It starts from the point where you're listing the product. When you use it, you don't need Inventory Lab to list your products, right? But if you want to track your product's profit and loss at the product level, highly recommended use it. And the Inventory Lab also lets you see your profit and loss at a bigger level and a macro level, meaning up close. Inventorylab.com is the URL. Highly recommended by other online sellers that are more advanced than I am, and it's something that I want to do this year, is start using Inventory Lab. Again, I get no money from referring you to them. Highly recommended if you want to be serious. So that is it in a nutshell. Let's recap a little bit. If you're serious about selling on Amazon, you think your revenues are going to be over $15,000 per year, my recommendation is to hire an accountant or a CPA. First, that's the first thing you do before you're establishing a business, before you establish business accounts, etc. Go sit down with a CPA. Good CPAs will have a free consultation with you, preferably somebody local. And they don't have to be a CPA. They can be an accountant as long as they've got some good referrals. Make sure they have referrals of existing customers that you can talk to. Or have one of your friends refer you, maybe one of your friends who is a business owner, you got a relative who's a business owner, or somebody who is friends with a business owner. Start asking for qualified accountants in your area. Sit down with them, show them what you do on the computer, log into your Amazon seller account, show them your statements and the reports that you're able to generate in your Amazon seller account. If you're unsure, go to Amazon Seller Help and do a search for how to generate those reports. Your accountant will tell you what kind of information they need to manage your financials every month and what kind of data they need from you. So sit down with them, express to them, just don't say, hey, I need to hire you. You have to sit down with them and show them exactly what kind of reports you can generate and what your business is about, what the Amazon fees are, etc. Okay? Follow their advice on establishing yourself as a corporation or as an LLC. And for your own purposes, explore the two links that I mentioned, bit.ly/eSalesTS, ESALESTS, eSalesTS, all lowercase, and Inventory Lab, the word inventory and the word lab together.com, all lowercase. Alex, I hope that's a great start for you. Good luck and keep me posted. Alex gets all seven of my best-selling ebooks about selling on Amazon and eBay. Alex, just go to AskJordan.net, click on the small envelope icon in the upper right-hand corner of that page. Send me an email so I know where to send your ebooks to. If you, the listener, want to submit a question to the podcast and have a chance to win all my best-selling ebooks just like Alex, you can call 516-619-ONLINE. That's our hotline. It's just a voicemail box. You leave your question there. 516-619-ONLINE. That's 516-619-6654. Or go to AskJordan.net and scroll down, look for the directions on submitting your question. Hey, thanks for listening. This has been the Ask Jordan Podcast. We'll see you in our next episode.